Welcome to another lecture of the MCP server, and in this lecture we will discuss everything about the custom MCP server. This is one of those features that once you understand it completely, it will changes how you think about giving AI agents access to your Salesforce org. By the end of this lecture, you will have the understanding of what the custom MCP servers are, why they exist, and how importantly they are differ from the standard servers. Most importantly, you will also get an idea how to design and configure them for the real world use cases as well. So let's jump in. If you recall, in the last video we discussed about the standard MCP server. One of the key limitation of the standard MCP server are they are kind of an immutable, although they are pre-built provided by the Salesforce, but they are product specific tools. If you have to go and make the changes into the standard MCP server, it is something which is not possible. You can either turn them on or turn them off, but you cannot edit what's available inside those MCP server. You cannot add your own custom tools. You can't remove those tools. You can't have mixed tools coming up from the different standard servers together. Each server have its own unique URL as well. And in the last video, when we have done some hands-on, I have shown you how you can get that unique URL, configure that unique URL as well. Now, wherever an AI client connects to that URL, it will discover what tools are available. So the question becomes, what if your workflow require the tools coming up from the multiple product areas? For example, you want to create your MCP server, we should be taking the CRM data, applying some analytics on it, and then also adding some custom logic that you have already written in your flows or Apex. And that is where the custom server will come in. Now let's look at what are the custom servers and why we require this custom server. So here is the exact problem that the custom server is solving. This is really important to understand. AI clients, whether they are an Agentforce agent or a Claude or a Copilot, right, or any MCP compatible client, they have a practical limit of how many tools that they can work with effectively. Again, research and the real world experience show that once you go beyond those roughly 30 tools, the AI starts struggling to pick the right one for a given task. Think about it from the AI perspective. If you have give it around 200 tools and user says that show me this quarter's pipeline, the AI needs to scan all those 200 tool description and figure it out which one to call. The more tools, the more confusion, and definitely you will have the more errors. Now compound that with the reality. Real business workflows don't live inside the single product area. A sales reps need CRM record access and maybe some analytics and maybe some custom flow that logs initiatives in a specific way your org require. Your standard servers cannot help you here. They are completely siloed. For example, if you have the S object server which knows everything about the Tableau, then you do have the Data 360 server which knows nothing about your custom Apex. And here is the one big gap. Your org has the custom logic already. You have already built the flows, Apex classes, REST endpoints. They simply don't exist on any of the standard server, right? And that is the one of the primary reason you need those custom servers needs to be configured in your org. Let's try to understand this with one analogy, and I hope that it will be clear for you when to go for the standard server and when to go for the custom server. Imagine a buffet, a long buffet table where you do have the dishes contributed by the different chefs. For example, Salesforce product team put the dishes there like the S object tool, Data 360 queries, Tableau visualizations. ISV partner put their own dishes like the CPQ tool, DocGen tool, and your internal developers team, they have also put their own dishes. For example, the custom flows, Apex action, and the REST API. That's a buffet for you. Everything will be available across the entire platform. Now, you don't hand someone the entire buffet, right? That's not how the buffet works. What typically the way buffet works here is you take a plate, you put specific items on it based on what the person need. And that's what the custom MCP server is. Custom MCP server is the plate where ideally the admin go and configure from the setup menu what exact entities that your exact persona want. For example, you do have the sales persona and you do have the support persona, right? Your sales persona want few of the tools which are coming up from the standard Salesforce standard part, few of the tools which should be coming up from the custom MCP tool, and let's say the CPQ tool which has been provided by the ISV. So instead of giving all the tools which are available in your org, you are handpicking few of the tools and giving only those tools to the sales persona here. So the idea here is, although you do have the different personas in your org, you don't put everything inside the personas plate. You go and identify the roles and responsibilities of the persona and then provided those tools to them. So same buffet, different tools to the different persona. That's the model that we typically follow. And with the help of custom MCP server, we can easily achieve that kind of a model. A quick difference between the standard servers and the custom MCP servers are: standard MCP servers are typically configured by the Salesforce, but the custom MCP server, it is something which has been configured by the admin from the setup menu. Contains in the standard servers, they are kind of a fixed. However, in the case of custom MCP server, they are mix and match based on the persona to whom you want to provide that custom MCP server. You cannot add any custom tools in the standard MCP server, but in the case of custom server, you can add your own custom tools like the Apex, flows, APIs as well. With respect to the controlling part, standard servers, they are, you can only enable and disable them, but your custom servers, they are fully composable. And on the deployment part, you cannot deploy the standard servers. As I said, you can only enable and disable them, but the custom servers, they are the metadata APIs. You can get that deployed via your CI/CD pipeline too. I hope the idea is clear to you, when to go for the standard server and when to go for the custom server. Now let's try to understand what all the different ways to implement the custom server in the Salesforce. The first one here is the flows, right? Specifically the auto launch flows. If you have already built a flows that does the multi-step processing for you, that already calling out some external system, you can expose that particular flow directly as an MCP tool. The idea here is no integration code is needed. Your flow is self is a tool. Second one is the invocable action. These are the Apex classes annotated with @invocable method, where you go and write down the complex calculation, perform sensitive operation. You can directly use those invocable actions as well. Number three is the aura enable method. Now this is interesting, right? If you have already built something for the lightning web component annotated with @aura enabled, you that can also serve as an MCP tool for you, right? Again, you do not have to write down any additional code for it. Number four, if you have already written an Apex REST test class with @resource annotation, that can also be mapped as a custom tool. And finally, all the Salesforce REST APIs provided by the Salesforce under the API catalog can also be used as a custom tool. Not only that, Salesforce also planning to bring the name query as one of the customs tool. Although if you go and figure this out today in the developer org, it is available in the form of beta to you. It is not GA yet. But very soon they are planning to make it as a GA, and that will also be available as one of the custom tool for your custom MCP server. Now, how you can get this configured? As I said, it's quite simple. I will give you the hands-on one after the other for each of the custom tool, how you can configure the Apex, flows, and the API catalogs as well. But let's try to understand first how you can get that configured. So you have to navigate to the setup, then you have to go to the Salesforce MCP server. There you go and create the MCP server, add some custom tools into it. provide the name and the description to each custom tool. This is important because whatever the name and the description that you will put up here, it will help the AI to go and execute and select that particular tool. And finally, you do have the unique URL generated per server configuration. So the steps are kind of a similar, right? Only additional step that you do have here is adding the custom tool, but rest of the steps are similar what we have discussed with the standard configuration or with the help of the standard MCP server. Now the last slide that I want to run before I take you to the hands-on part, how you can, what all the key best practices that you should be following while creating the custom MCP server. The first one here is keep server focused. As I already said it before and I'll say it again, fewer tools means the better AI accuracy. If you are putting the 50 tools on one server, you are doing it wrong. Aim for 10 to 20 tool max per server. Second one, write precise tool description. I cannot emphasize this enough. I already iterated this multiple times in my Udemy course as well. The description that you write for each tool or action, it literally the instruction that AI uses to decide when to call it. Ideally, you should spend good amount of time here. Be specific, include what the tool does, what input it expects, and when it should be used versus the alternative. Number three, one persona, one server. I know it's tempting to create one big everything server. Don't do it. That defeats the entire purpose. Think about the persona first. Think about what a sales reps need, what a support agent need, what a data steward need. Each one gets their own server based on the tools that they required. And finally, the next one here is deploy via metadata. Now you can treat your server configuration as a code, build and test it in the sandbox, and then promote it to the production through your normal deployment pipeline. Number 5 is leverage existing investment. Don't rebuild the logic just for the MCP. If you have a flow that does what you need, expose it. If you have a class, expose it. That's the whole point. You do not have to go and build something new only for the MCP. The next one here is the test tool selection. After you configure a server, actually test it, give the common prompts to the AI and verify it whether it is picking the right tool or not. You can test it out with the help of the Agentforce wipes. You can test it out via the Claude or any other AI agent that you prefer. I hope you got the idea of what is custom MCP server, how the custom MCP server is different from the standards MCP server, what all the different ways to build the custom MCP server, and what all the best practices that you should be following while building the custom MCP server. In the next video, I will help you how you can build the custom MCP server first with the Apex REST class, and in the following videos, I will also show you what all the different ways to build the custom MCP server from the Aura enabled, from the Apex, and few other options as well.